Well, guys, round 3 of the International Tournament of Power is over, and boy, things certainly did not go the way Team Global and its supporters would have hoped, unfortunately, despite the Zeno stepping in and adding some wildcard bonuses for the Global Boys to use against their opponents. It wasn't enough to stop Team JP from dominating the round once again. We're in the studio today with both team captains once again to talk about everything that went down in part 3. Say hello to the global team captain, the masked Ningen. How are you doing, man?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Little bit humbled, but happy to be here again.
yeah. And JP's captain, Talon. How are you doing, man?
Team JP. Team JP. Team JP. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Talon, you start off this round with a match against Gale, whose special bonus rule was being able to change the stage to another of his choice, but he opted to stay on Shadow Dragons. What were your thoughts on this decision, and how did the match play out?
Honestly, I was a little surprised. I thought he'd pick something else, because I remember him telling me that, he has units in the Shadow Dragon category, obviously, but it's not necessarily his strongest team. So I thought maybe he would change something else, but the race went pretty well. I opted for doing the Oceanus Shenron along with the STR Omega Shenron because you can't bring the STR and physical together on your own personal team. You can only bring the friend, and it worked out just as I thought it would, though. Just having STR Omega Shenron there is just invaluable. Like just having them there, it's like it's having a Whis activated. Like that's all you need. And It was just like, all right, well, let's just go. And even though yes, it was a lower bit of a boost considering the leader skill that I got from my personal leader, it still worked out just fine. So
very true. And shout out to Gale, of course. Gale did try his best. He did try. So okay, well, Ningen, you participated in the second match of the round and took on General on the movie Boss's stage. You were able to ban Jin from using an item of your choice, and you selected Ghost Ushers. Do you think you made the right choice? What were your thoughts on how the match played out?
So obviously, hindsight is 2020. We talked about it during our race, but Jin had suspected that I was either going to pick Ghost Ushers or the Fruit of the Tree of Might. The reason I picked Ghost Usher, I explained it in the race, but for anyone who needs to hear the explanation again, like a Ghost Usher, when it comes to racing in Super Battle Road, it's like the first item that I pick, because not only is it great defensively, but it cuts out all of the enemy's attacks, so obviously it makes your turns play out faster. So to me, that's like the number one item that I choose to bring, so it made sense to ban that one. But then of course Jin was prepared for this possibility, so he ran a pretty heavy LR heavy version of the team, and so obviously the Fruit of the Tree of Might came in super handy for him. So I think it could have worked both ways. Like if I'd banned the fruit, then obviously the Ghost Ushers do play a big part, so who knows what would have happened. It was the first time I've ever raced against Jin. Like we've been in videos before, but we've never actually raced each other, and so even though I actually set a new personal best for that stage, despite the fact I ran like a bunch of practice runs that same day, it still wasn't quite enough, and he did manage to beat me. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I made the right choice at the time, but who knows how it could have panned out differently.
Hey man, it was a good match. Though. It was a good match. Unfortunately, General, I don't know. I feel like you were almost there, dude. I was rooting for you, man. All right, so the third match of the round, we saw Tiger and Sunblade go head-to-head on the fusion category stage, with the special rule being that Tiger could choose a single fusion unit that Sunblade was not allowed to use. Tiger chose physical LR Gogeta, and yet Sunblade still managed to continue his impressive winning streak. Talon, what do you think of Tiger's choice? Is that who you would have chosen?
that's honestly not who I would have chosen. I mean, don't get me wrong. Physical LR Gogeta is still one of the best characters on the entire Fusion team. And I guess if you go long enough, you can get the Fusion, which is a free heal and everything. But this is a race, and Sunblade is a known speedrunner when it comes to other games and everything. And I don't think he was not going to be banking on that heal and that fuse. He just wasn't. He was going to have that thing clocked and done by turn 3, turn 4 at the latest. And honestly, if I had to pick somebody that maybe would have hurt him a little bit more, I probably would have said Probably like AGL Gogeta or someone, or maybe even the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And the reason I say the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is because even though we all hark on him, we all hate seeing him in banners now and everything, that ability to have minus 20% attack on extreme enemies is really, really helpful. And so I personally would have probably done that, because we really overlook it sometimes when we bring units that lower the enemy's attack just by being there. And then all of a sudden when they're not there and you're taking tons of extra damage, even from super attacks and everything, you're like, oh, I just lost. So yeah, that's what I personally would have gone with.
Yeah, I think that, like, when you think about the stage in general, and I think Tiger said in the video that's why he picked him, but like, Physical Gogeta was kind of the first one that came to mind for me, because he is one of the only like decent tanks on the Fusion team. But of course, when you use a race, like, we're spamming like defensive items or ghost ushers or whatever, so you don't really need to focus too much on the defensive units. So like I say, I think if I'd like answered off the top of my head, I might have picked Physical LR Gogeta, but I kind of agree with the first thing that Talon said, which is I think if you had time to think about it more, AGL Gogeta is able to put out so much damage because of his effective against all types. I think in a race type scenario, he probably is the better option. But I mean, there you go. It was Tiger up against the speedrunner again, so yeah. I'm kind of not surprised.
Hey, Tiger, you tried your best, man. I'm sorry.
At least he didn't try to get all fancy and everything with active skills and everything, you know?
True. He learned.
I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah, he learned. Tiger did learn. This was a learning experience for everyone. And finally, we had the Clash of the Titans, Whale versus Whale, as Goresh took on Nolar. The stage was Transformation Boost, and the special rule was that Goresh could pick a unit that Nolar had to bring, and he chose Physical Transforming.
Oh, God, that was so painful to hear when he said that.
Yeah, yeah. And Mr. Ningen, what did you think of this choice?
I mean, I thought it was amazing. So Goresh actually told me straight away that that's what he was going to pick when his thing got drawn. So I was anticipating watching this match. And I'm sure a lot of people, like if you were rooting for Team Global, as soon as his diabolical plan was revealed, obviously we all sat watching that race just hoping that the meme was going to come to life and that Physical Ribrienne would transform, because I mean, she's such a weak unit in general that her transforming in any one of the 3 stages, let alone more than once, would just be like an instant game over. Now, fortunately for Nolar, she didn't transform at all, but I think it was the second fight, he did get a transformation with, I think, LR Baby, and I think that's kind of what slowed him down in the end. So technically, Goresh was on the right track, but funnily enough, it was the wrong unit that transformed. But I think we can all agree, I mean, maybe not Talon, but it would have absolutely been hilarious if that Physical Ribrienne had transformed. So,
oh my God.
Either way, Goresh managed to bring home the W. So
yeah, that's good.
It was it worked out well in the end.
Yep, 100%. Well, with round 3 over, the final score is JP 10, which is unbelievable, and Global 2. Definitely more one-sided than I think most people were expecting. Ningen, what do you think went wrong if you had to sum it up in a short segment?
Well, I mean, so to keep it short, like, I don't want to make excuses. I think we're pretty overconfident, and like, I mean, for me personally, I had Sunblade in round 1, and I'm more than happy to admit that I very much underestimated him. I mean, coming into the tournament, I know that he's a professional speedrunner for other games, but I really underestimated how much that would just transfer over to Dokkan. And then, of course, I know Sunblade and I guess most of the JP guys took the whole thing very seriously. I know Sunblade was giving people advice on their team building and stuff like that. And apart from, I checked with Goresh was for some of my team building, but other than that, like, Team Global didn't really like communicate all that much. I don't think we probably took it as seriously as we should have. And I don't want that to sound like an excuse, but I mean, when you've got one team that's like prepared quite a bit and then another team that just kind of shows up on the day to do a race, it's not hard to see. They definitely panicked after round 1. And so when it came to round 2, I was trying to get people to, bounce some team ideas off of each other and things like that. But there you go. I mean, we had the extra rules for round 3. Some of the stuff maybe we should have considered from the very start. But at the end of the day, it was all supposed to be in good fun. And whilst I don't think any of us expected it to be that one-sided, I'm pretty sure people definitely would have been entertained. So at least there's that.
Yeah, 100%. And talent. So Ningen was just mentioning how much they prepared. How much did you guys actually prepare on the JP side of things? Was it like, were you guys really talking every day, or was it just kind of like little things here and there that you guys helped each other out with?
We actually were talking every single day. So,
okay.
well, thanks to the time differences and everything, when it comes to, at least for me and Sunblade, we ended up sending each other pictures and everything of what we were using for our teams, and they actually helped me out with my pure sand run, which was my very first one I ever had. And after that, yeah, we definitely took it decently serious. So
yeah, and it was unfortunately 10-2. Ningen, I'm sorry, man. But don't fret. It looks like we are getting another big announcement from DeZeno. Let's see what's happening now.
No! JP, you are letting Global win! You bums! It is supposed to be a global shaft! You let the homie Goresh win twice! This was supposed to be the ultimate global shaft. So, I have to step in.
Listen, Khalifa, I would eat.
Daddy Truth needs to come in and get the win. Jinro, since you ruined our flawless record first over here on JP, you're getting the out of here. I will step in and we're gonna win! 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 Win!
Looks like the truth is stepping in. You know what? I can't do this. I'm not going to do this anymore, okay? Time and time again, Global gets destroyed by JP. I can't sit by. I'm not watching this anymore. I'm coming in. Gale, get the out. No, you heard me. Get out. You're being replaced, all right? If Truth can come in out of nowhere, then it's time for me to step in too, all right? I'll put some respect on this team. Put some respect on it.
Wow, what a surprise. Toon has a pretty big potty mouth from the seams of it. You heard it here, folks. Toon Rami and DeZeno have joined the battle. Will Global finally be saved? We have a lot to cover, so let's jump straight into it. This will be a 3-video part, starting with our first video going over team builds. Both teams will work alongside each other to build the best teams possible for their battles. Global didn't get much experience doing this at the very beginning, so this should definitely help. The teams will race through super battle stages like Realm of Gods, Hybrid Stands, and the Super and Extreme stages. Then the next video will consist of the big relay race, where we'll see Team Global and JP racing at full speed, trying to one-up the other. Each time a team member from one team finishes, the next member in line will jump in and complete their stage. That will be the part where they pass the batons, and whoever is the quickest team will be the winner. It's going to be all about speed, RNG, and wits. It's going to be an exciting one, so make sure not to miss out on this amazing relay race. And then Global, this is actually your final chance, my boy, so definitely get into it. Then now moving on to our third and final video of the iTop series, we'll have a last video basically letting the teams, trash talk each other like all the other ones. You guys get one last shot at that. So Mr. Math Ningen, how do you feel about all this, my good sir?
I mean, yeah, this definitely seems interesting. I mean, I was wondering what was going to happen for round 4 because obviously, unfortunately, given the position we were in, Even if we'd won all 4 matches in round 4, we still would have lost overall. So I guess as far as technicalities are concerned, the tournament was already over. So it's interesting to see round 4 being replaced with something like this, because like you said, I don't think this has ever been done before. So I mean, hey, of all the times, of all the places in the International Tournament of Power, seems like a great time to be busting out something new. And I'm sure Toon is Toon taking over for Gale. I mean, he was pretty mad about not being included on the team. I've heard all of those all of his intros that he's been doing so far, and I'll take this opportunity yet again to remind everybody out there. In my original draft for Team Global, I did put Toon on the team, but some of the 5-9 management wanted him used for the announcing role, so maybe they were scared of his prowess, so we can use him to have a bit of a comeback in this final round.
Yeah, sounds about right. And Mr. Talon, what is your response to this?
This is definitely interesting. I mean, these are the power of Zeno we're talking about here. I mean, I think anything can go. I mean, you know, I would imagine that one person on your team could really be going at it really hard and really kicking butt and everything. And the next thing you know, it's just like, now this other partner just got obliterated and everything. And that can really turn the tides right there. So we'll have to see how fast everyone can be in this relay race. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The official result of the Tournament of Power is in, but we have one final for all of you to enjoy. Stay tuned for all the action as the first International Tournament of Power comes to an end right here at 5-9 Gaming.